don't have backups.
No.
You don't have a backup
Not
body.
At all. You don't. And people do. You guys are out here drinking like you got a backup body. I love that. A backup body. Welcome to another episode of Odd Pairing Podcast. I am your host, Natasha, co-host Natasha, and I have my other co-host here.
Paige.
Paige is here. Paige is here. Paige, yes. We got another fun fact-filled fact
episode. Fact fiction.
Episode. Say that 5 times fast.
Nope. I already messed it up on the first try.
Right. So, for this particular episode, we're going to be talking about hangover cures.
Fact versus fiction. That's where it comes in.
Fact versus, yes. So this one is probably going to be heavy on the let me debunk what you thought you knew. And also tell you what you probably got right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But before we do that, we have to start drinking.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of course. But I want to let them know, like, the reason why we're probably going to take it up a notch, because we're going to test some of these out.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Today, I thought we would go traditional margarita. And so this margarita is simply organic lime juice, agave, and Blanco tequila. Just 3 ingredients. We'll throw it up on our social with measurements.
Yeah, so you guys can make it.
Yeah, but our producer, Zeke, made this for us.
Okay.
And we got a shaker and everything, nice and chilled. So.
Pour me some of that up. In our
glassware.
In our nice little glassware
beautiful glassware.
We told you guys we were stepping it up season 2. We wasn't playing.
I don't know how much is in here. I'll pour you some more.
I know, right? Do I need to? Use? There we go. It looks good.
It's the right color.
Whoa. Now
it's definitely a Zeke margarita.
So for people out there who
cheers first.
Cheers. In the eyes, what we learned on another episode.
Woo.
Yeah. I don't trust you if I don't look in the eyes.
Yeah.
What you guys probably don't know out there is I know on Laura Johnson's episode, I talked about like how gin is like one of my favorite spirits, right? Tequila is probably my number 1. Absolutely number 1 out of all of them.
Do you drink it
on the rocks?
On the rocks, or just, what is it, straight up?
Straight up.
Mixed, obviously.
We ain't got a
It doesn't even matter.
We ain't got a baby.
And what about types? Because there's 3, right?
Yes. I usually go for more. I just started getting into the darker ones. Only because somebody kind of hit me up a little bit. Because I used to just do clear.
Blanco. Yeah.
Just all white. And then somebody started telling me about like different ones. And being in California, you could really get a taste for all types of like just tequilas, period. From the darkest to the lightest. And I started more getting into the darker ones, and I'm really liking them. Can you,
because I haven't really dabbled in tequila at all outside of it being mixed in a cocktail. So what are the taste differences, I guess, if you were to go from like white to reposado and añejo? Like how is it different?
That's a good question, because I don't think I know that one either.
Okay.
I think I'm more,
We're learning?
Yeah, because it's more like almost like it is. It's kind of not really. No. It's more of a. I don't want to say smoky, because that's the way it feels. It almost feels like it's.
Is it smoother?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can get some whites that are smooth. Like, the regular Patron is not the smoothest. It's probably the roughest, right? And then like the more you get up into it, then they kind of get like a little bit smoother. But
yeah,
I'm not really hip into
terms
of like the different ones. But we're gonna find out on this show.
Yeah, we're gonna find someone to teach us.
Yes,
because I have no idea, and I feel like, like a lot of alcohol, you start with something that's less expensive, not as higher quality, and then it kind of ruins it for you.
Yep.
Which is what happened to me with tequila in college.
What was the first one?
It was Patron Silver.
Oh, really?
I think. I mean, I don't know. It was a while ago.
Patron is like where I had started.
Isn't that like
maybe it's wrong?
The square.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wrong, but that's why I started to kind of like step it up a little bit.
But maybe it's like a lot of it.
Because I was doing Jose Cuervo before. Like that was my very first, and that was like.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, it was kind of like my drink of where I was like, ooh, me and Jose. And people used to think I was talking about somebody. And I was literally talking about tequila.
About your drink.
I'd be like, I brung me and Jose. Me and Jose came to the party.
We're here.
We're here.
We always come together.
We always come together.
That's how I like to party.
You don't see one without the other.
Party time.
That's literally how it was. And that was before I started getting into like wines. Before I started like really diving into wines. Tequila was my very, like it was like the one, not the two. Like it was it for me.
And did you drink it mostly mixed and then started drinking it straight?
So I started drinking it first in
like
tequila
sipping?
Sunrises. Tequila Sunrises was my absolute favorite. And then I found out about a sunset, which is just reverse. But
real creative.
And that was like, anytime anyone would ask me like, oh, what kind of drink would you like? And I'd be like, tequila sunrise or tequila sunset. Doesn't matter. Whichever one they feel like making that particular day, depending on what coast I was on.
Yeah.
Right? Tequila sunrise if I'm on the east, tequila sunset if I'm on the west. And then for some reason, everyone at that time was like ordering vodka Red Bulls. Oh, and I didn't do vodka. I did not.
But you did Red Bulls?
I did Red Bulls.
Oh.
But I would do tequila Red Bulls.
Oh, living it up.
Took it up another notch.
Yeah, you did.
And for me, I thought that I was like the first person to do that. And then I saw because I was the only one. Every time I would order it, bartenders would be like,
"Excuse me,
what?"
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Yes, you heard me."
Yeah,
tequila and Red Bull. I know what everybody else is ordering. These kids put in what I want,
Yeah.
And then I remember going somewhere and this I had to be like a couple of weeks ago. And this girl ordered a tequila Red Bull, and I was like, I'm so proud. Look at everyone knowing what that is. Yeah, because it was literally no one knew what tequila Red Bull was.
Yeah.
During that time, because it was like, ew, what are you doing, ma'am?
Yeah.
I'm trying to drink.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I prefer not to have vodka. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. And
are you questioning my drinking choice?
They were. They were.
The
audacity.
Do not appreciate it.
The audacity, right?
Yeah.
And you're not getting a tip because you're judging.
Yeah.
And so tequila has always been like a staple for me in terms of like having a clear liquor, if you will, because I still consider it, no matter how dark it gets, I still consider it in the clear zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's nice about this is that there isn't a bunch of artificial sugar or extra sugars, where if you buy sometimes those, like the mixed margarita or the mixes that either has the alcohol already in it or you just mix it with your tequila, like a lot of times that's packed full of sugar.
It really is.
Additional sugar, which contributes to hangovers.
Yes. Exactly.
So it's nice that it is just the tequila, just juice, lime juice, and agave, just a tiny sweeten it. And that's it. That's all you need. It's super, super easy to make at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into these hangovers.
Yeah.
Because
they're the worst.
Tell me the first hangover you ever had.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure this is the first one because it's also probably one of the first times I ever got drunk. And I was in Costa Rica and I was visiting my brother. I was 16 and it was a lot of Smirnoff Ice. A lot of Smirnoff Ice. Family barbecue.
Yep.
Like my sister-in-law's family was all there and we were all hanging out. And I think my parents had like gone home for the trip and I stayed a couple weeks longer. And so the first time they left, it was like, we're gonna have a barbecue.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
a
real
did
barbecue.
That, yeah. Ended up, in the bathroom on the floor for a while. And the next day, we had to drive out. We were driving out to the beach, and so in Costa Rica, it's like we were in San Jose, and it's about a 2-hour drive. It's very close, like geographically, but because of the roads, they're windy and through a jungle, it takes like 2 hours to get out to the beach. And I was super hungover. They brought their dog. Their dog threw up on me in the back seat because she got car sick because of the windy road. So it was a really bad hangover story because I was like, really hungover.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The dog threw up?
Yeah, the dog threw up on me. And my brother was laughing because he was just like, what is happening in this world?
I would have did the same thing. This can't be real.
This can't be real. And I was like, pull over. And there's nowhere to pull over because you're in the jungle.
Yeah.
And so, that was probably one of the first, I'm just like, this trip's got to get better.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The dog throwing up took me.
Yeah, that definitely brought the hangover to a new level. And it's like, it's not always this bad the next day.
Yeah.
Like, you usually nurse yourself, but we had to leave. We got to go.
You had to go do stuff.
Yeah. My niece, the one that you met, she was, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years old. So she's in the car seat and she was up early and all sorts
doing
of
her
stuff.
thing.
Doing her thing, being a toddler.
Yeah.
Not understanding that people had been up all night. And yeah, that was a rough one.
Wow.
Yeah, what about you?
Whoa. So my first hangover, I remember I was living in Japan at the time, and we went to Roppongi, which is in Tokyo. And in Tokyo, the bars stay open. It's like New York, all night long. You can see the sunrise like through the window of the club.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were there, and plus the train stopped running at 12. So you had no choice but to stay.
You had to.
Yeah. So they didn't start back until 6 a.m. So
party all night long.
We were like, okay, we're going to drink like literally all this time. We're not going to sit up here and just dance around and then get bored. Who do we think we are? And I remember when we got on the train and we got on the bullet train and it was moving faster than my stomach could go. And I remember throwing up on the train.
Stop.
Yes, I did. And I remember I was telling my friends, like, we need to get off, like, a stop and let me, like, get my bearing.
Yeah, like, I need to find the ground.
Yeah, I need to find the ground. And we got off, and I'm thinking that, young, dumb, don't know nothing about hangovers. I was like, oh, I feel good, guys. I had some water, we was drinking, like, what their version of a Gatorade was.
Yeah, electrolytes.
And I was like, oh, yeah. I'm fine. Get back on the train. World started spinning. Because I'm looking out the window, but I'm trying not to look out the window. But at the same time, I could feel us moving through space and time so quickly. And then I look up and
like
I was
an out of body experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my soul was probably still left at the first
club.
stop.
Oh, I was going to say at the club.
Yeah. At the first stop, it was still there. So, yeah, I would never forget that. And then I tried to, like, go to sleep on it and woke up the next day and my world was still, like, spinning. And
was that tequila? Was that tequila Red Bulls?
No, I think I wasn't in tequila at that time.
Okay.
I was probably doing normal, like, vodka Red Bulls.
That's why you got rid of the vodka.
That's why it's no longer in my house. It's not allowed there. It's not allowed in my vicinity or any of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. If somebody can bring on a vodka on the show, could change my mind.
You'd be open to it.
I'd be open to it. Totally open to it. Yeah. But yeah, me going in the store and picking one up, Grey Goose, kill me with it. I would not. Yeah. Will not.
No.
Not anymore. But yeah, so let's kind of get into these hangover cure facts and fictions.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so the first one common belief is that drinking water can help cure a hangover. Mm-hmm. Fact or fiction?
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So alcohol is a diuretic, which means it dehydrates you and the body. Well, drinking water can help you obviously rehydrate the body and alleviate some of the symptoms of the hangover. It actually alleviates the effects of the hangover, replacing the lost fluids. Or you could use, like you were saying, like a Gatorade or something with like extra electrolytes and some sodium to like replenish the nutrients or the vitamins that you've lost from being dehydrated.
And you know what else I found too?
What?
Pedialyte.
Oh, yeah.
Parents, you guys have had it figured out this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Because somebody put me on game of Pedialyte. It's nasty. Now it tastes like a
They have
salty.
They have a lot of different flavors.
A salty Kool-Aid. But
well,
yeah.
They also now, I don't know if you've seen it at Costco, but they've got that liquid IV,
Yes.
which is like comes in like a little tube and it's just a powder, and you just throw that in there, and it's supposed to be like the equivalent of 4 bottles of water.
Yeah.
Very salty, but also full of a lot of sugar.
Same. One
And
of my best
also
friends.
works.
One of my best friends gave me that, and
Yeah.
it tasted the same.
Yeah.
Nothing was different about it.
Yeah.
But
it's just for adults. It's marketed to adults versus for children.
Right. But I did feel hydrated.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I was like, this actually works.
It works. Yeah. It replenishes lost stuff.
So, yeah, the Pedialyte is definitely, if you guys, want to have some of that, Pedialyte is definitely a great
list. On the list.
Have that. If you're a drinker and you're going to have a bunch of people over, have a little Pedialyte.
Well, just, have it in the fridge for the next day.
Yeah, just go.
Get the orange flavor.
Go back to these kids' parties. They're going to have Pedialyte there for sure.
They have fruit juice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Drinking more alcohol to cure a hangover. Fact or fiction?
Now,
Hair of the dog, right?
In my younger days, I would have thought that was a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking, okay, well, I'll stop drinking a little bit of...
You're like, I needed to, slowly stop drinking.
Slow me out.
Yeah, instead of just, cold turkey, going to bed, not drinking.
And it's a myth.
Yeah.
It's fiction.
Very
Don't let your granddaddy sucker you into
Hair of the
shit.
dog is not true.
Not at all. Yeah. Drinking more alcohol may provide a temporary relief, but it ultimately prolongs the effects of a hangover and can lead to even more severe symptoms.
Because you're continuing to dehydrate yourself.
Over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder where that came from.
Someone who had a drinking problem. Someone who had a severe drinking problem was like, no, keep drinking.
Yeah. Or it's like you're hungover. People are like, oh, well, just have a Bloody Mary. Or a Bloody, where they'll drink, some breakfast beverage.
I do like
to help with your hangover. And
I do like a good strip of bacon in my Bloody Mary, though.
Oh yeah, Bloody Marys have gotten fancy.
They are so fancy now.
They're spicy. There's bacon. There's lots of vegetables, like a whole salad in there.
Yeah, I had one downtown. I forgot what restaurant it was, but I remember. I was like, because I'm thinking, didn't know that not keeping drinking alcohol is not the hangover cure. But I was like, let me just get a Bloody Mary. Mm-hmm. And they gave me one with this big, thick strip of bacon. And I love bacon. And I was like, just keep them coming. Yeah. But put me 3 more strips of bacon.
Can I get extra bacon with the Bloody Mary, please?
On the side,
Yeah.
It was the crispiest bacon I've ever had.
Was it at the Tractor Room?
I don't think so.
Oh, I remember their Bloody Marys used to be real good and very full of bacon, in a good way.
Is
in Hillcrest?
I think it might be, and you could see outside. Mm-hmm. Somebody's in there playing. It's maybe a guitarist or
maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really good brunch spot.
That probably is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's legit.
That piece of bacon in there with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Extra bacon with my Bloody Mary.
For sure.
Because this is my breakfast.
This is my breakfast.
It's my meal.
Speaking of breakfasts, people who thought that eating a greasy breakfast, they thought that was true. But in fact,
it's fiction, but I still want it.
Same. Because it's something, I don't know, maybe
it's just comfort food. Where you're like, oh, I want something hearty and
because we thinking that it's soaking up the alcohol, but it's really not.
I think that's just a psychological trick.
Yeah.
I can eat this carb-heavy, loaded, probably not very good for you breakfast.
Yeah, you doing pancakes, probably some biscuits.
Yeah.
Some waffles.
And if I wasn't hungover, then I wouldn't have any excuse to eat bad food like or not bad, but to eat that much food.
Oh, for sure.
So you're like, oh, I'm hungover. I need this. This is gonna make me feel better. 4,000 calories? Yes, please.
Yeah.
Well.
And the thing is that it's so the reasoning is that the high fat content in the food will help to absorb some of the alcohol in the stomach. While a greasy breakfast may help to settle an upset stomach, it doesn't actually alleviate the effects of a hangover.
Oh, well, maybe also
so that's the reason why we do it, is because it settles the stomach. It just doesn't get rid of the hangover.
No, just gets rid of some of the body stuff.
Yeah, so you're not throwing up. Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah.
Or feeling nauseated the entire time.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like going back for a second, because I think I do know what the hair of the dog is. Going back to the hair of the dog, there was a time where I think it's like when if a dog bit you that had rabies, you had to cut the hair short. And then wherever you got bit, you had to pack it with that hair.
Oh.
So it's basically it's trying to alleviate the symptom of what damaged you.
Yeah.
So that's why the alcohol
damaged you.
And you have to drink more.
Oh.
Because it's damaging you.
Like, ew. Medicine. Taste of your own medicine? Taste of your own medicine. Holy shit. Maybe that's part of it too.
Because it is. People self-medicate with alcohol. That's their medicine.
Yeah.
Taste of your own medicine. Wow. Look how the world just keeps revolving around and around and around. I'm loving it. Okay. Let's go with another fact. Now, this fact is a fun one because I do this. This is probably my number one as an adult who loves this particular beverage, and that's caffeine. Yeah. Caffeine, drinking coffee actually helps.
But it's the caffeine in the coffee that helps.
Yeah.
But sometimes coffee is coffee is so acidic that it can like contribute to your tummy aches, to your hangover, no?
If you put a little cream in there, maybe not. It smooths it up. Because I don't ever drink mine black. Okay? I don't drink my coffee black.
Nice
I drink it like I like my men. It's like a light skin. It's like a light skin coffee. Yeah, so with that, it's more of like that the smoothness of it. So for me, it actually works.
Yeah. I know that sometimes when I've had drank too much and then like the next day have that nauseousness, that then you have a cup of coffee and you're like, oh, well, that just contributed to the nauseousness because there's nothing in my stomach or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I guess you just got to drink smart.
But
your caffeine too.
Yeah, so the caffeine piece of it, because we know that caffeine helps with headaches.
Yes.
And so it also helps with the fatigue that's associated with the hangover. So it's more of helping with the symptoms of the hangover than it is the entire hangover.
The actual hangover.
Yeah.
Not replenishing anything.
Exactly. But if not careful, this is why water is probably the number one and most important, because coffee dehydrates you as well.
Yes, it definitely does.
So even though it's getting rid of the headache and the other stuff, it also dehydrates you.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you guys, water is still important, okay? I don't have this skin because I was out here drinking sodas all day, all right? Water is very important.
Yeah. Well, I know too, going back to water, like trying to drink like a full glass of water if you can, like before you go to bed or whatever, if you have been drinking. Like even not like a lot of drinking, like just in general, like it's good for you to just put some good stuff in your body right before you go to sleep.
The military actually has like this sheet that they used to have because we drink so much in the military, that they have this sheet of like, if you drink this many ounces of alcohol, you have to drink this much of water.
Oh, like they would chart.
So they would actually have to where you can, like if you took, a shot, then you had to drink a full glass. Or if you took, like if you drank a beer or something.
I feel like that should be in every bar.
It should be everywhere. I totally think it
I don't think that people like fully understand like how little a drink, like how small or something, a drink can make your blood alcohol go up.
Yes. That's why shots are powerful.
Yeah. But it's like that should be at like two whatever.
Yeah. Like it should be in bars.
Yeah. I don't think that would bring down anyone's party
the
time.
People that regulates alcohol? What are they called again?
Alcohol beverage control?
Yeah. Alcohol beverage control, the ABC. Listen, we said it first. So you can give us a little cut.
Oh,
when
alcohol
you start
industry will really like another regulation.
when you start regulating.
The highly regulated industry wants another regulation. The public is asking.
But if you think about like where it can kind of keep that healthiness of it.
Yeah.
And continue where you don't have to kick people out of your bar all the time.
Right. True.
You can actually regulate the people like, hey, you probably need to drink a glass of water. Like not as much in terms of like they need to be, they need to regulate each and every
not like
one.
that, but just something out there to like be educational because
like you need to have a glass.
Because when you turn 21, it's not like you have to go take a class about alcohol. You know?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it needs to be water at the table.
Yeah, or easy. Yeah.
You don't have to drink
accessible.
it, but it's there to
Yep.
let you know that we're also contributing to your safety. Because I think that it is an unspoken rule. Because I know that now most, like if they say, oh, what would you guys like to drink? Would you also like me to bring water?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So it's kind of this unspoken rule already in terms of people bringing kind of water to the table. But yeah, a water a day keeps the hangover away.
Something like that.
Right. All right, what's our next one?
The next one about over-the-counter painkillers, aspirin, ibuprofen, and such to cure a hangover. Fact or fiction?
This is definitely a fact. Yeah. And this is something that my husband does not drink. Okay. But he knows what I would need because I'm the drinker. Okay. So he knows what I would need in order to alleviate my hangovers.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones. So he will put like a thing of, water and some Tylenol or ibuprofen like by the bed so that I'm making sure that when I get up and have a headache or whatever, then I'm good.
That's nice
and I love
thoughtful.
that.
Yeah.
It's very thoughtful.
My husband gets a hangover. I'm like, well, fucking figure it out.
What?
Yeah. So we got 2 kids. I don't have time for you to be sick. Let's go.
Yeah. But you could help if you put the medicine there so that
the medicine's in the cabinet where it always is.
But you
know where it is.
But it's easier, right?
I'm sure it would be easier, but I'm also not the one who overdrank. So.
That's true.
I mean, he's much sweeter to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so another thing too is we're not saying that all meds need to be mixed.
No.
Pay attention to that. We're not saying that all meds need to be mixed, but
no.
After drinking and you have slept a little bit and you waking up, taking some, you don't take
with water,
right?
And like when you're trying to like
some Pedialyte,
Pedialyte stuff like
some
that.
Gatorade, taking it with that, not taking it with a shot of tequila. No. Don't do that. But nope. Yeah, and letting it, not taking as much because ibuprofen still damages your liver.
Right, still being metabolized in your liver, and your liver is also filtering out alcohol, so you don't want to like overwork the liver.
Overdo it, yeah. So that's why those particular things are there. And so this next one is, I'm gonna go ahead, spoiler alert, it's fiction. But I like it because it's the sayings that we say that we're thinking that this is what is gonna...
I still follow this.
Wow. Well, to let you know, it's fiction. Wow. We've all heard beer before liquor, never sicker.
I've definitely been the sickest when I've had beer before liquor.
So.
But maybe it was something else.
Maybe it was something else. Beer before wine, you'll be fine.
I don't know what kind of evening you're drinking beer and wine like that.
I don't know either. Like, why would you? First of all, why are you doing beer first, and then going? You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to classy it up and have a little wine. No, no one's doing that. But apparently, someone is because they have a whole saying. Beer before
I think they're
wine.
cute. They just rhyme.
Maybe that's probably what it was.
I feel like you should just, pace yourself, drink in moderation.
Period.
In general, yeah.
Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. That one I know by heart. Yeah. People have said that in the South for years and years and years. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. So yeah, those particular ones, you probably just basically drinking that water in between. Okay, guys?
Yeah. In between each drink.
Each drink.
Yeah.
Not taking it too far, because none of these are true. Whether you have the beer before the liquor before the beer before the wine before the liquor, all of it is still alcohol. Period. Mm-hmm. That's it. Don't have to. Yep. Yeah. Just pace yourself.
And then as you get older, it's a fact your hangovers get worse. I mean, I've experienced that personally.
What? That your hangovers get even worse?
Yeah, or like my body doesn't recover in the same way.
That's it.
As it did when I was like in my early 20s or in college or something like that and drinking versus now drinking.
I remember, quick drinking story. I remember when I was in the military, we would, oh man, I've come a long way in drinking. We would drink all night because we would go to Tokyo in the middle of the week. What we got to do the next day? Nothing. Save
work.
Save America.
Yeah, save democracy.
Right.
You guys taking your job seriously or what?
Oh yeah, we were. And so we would drink all night. Get up the next day. We wouldn't get up. Ride the train all the way home. Get there. I would take a quick shower. Go to work. Still hungover. And work a little bit. And then go home and then, because we'll get off by like 12. Sometimes 10, depending on how much we got to do.
Yeah.
And I get off and then go to sleep and then do it all over again. In my 20s.
Yeah, not today.
So by the time I was like, that would happen from, 19 to about 23? So by the time I was 23, I had bought my first home. So at that time, I'm drinking now in moderation. I'm like, you
so
kids couldn't go out there.
So mature.
You kids couldn't go out there and, drink and do all these other things. Like I'm married with a home at that time. So it was over for me. So I realized, so I had kind of really like tremendously slowed down on drinking. And just to recover, just to think about that, like I literally would go to work.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't do that.
Smelling like whatever.
Like booze.
And you think
Natasha went out last night.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had something to drink. Yes, I did. And I would be back in the morning with the same thing going on. And it was that culture too. The culture of it. Because it wasn't like I was an alcoholic. Because it was easy for me to just be like.
What else were you guys doing? Like, were there other options? Like, probably limited, right?
Very.
Yeah.
Not for during the week. The weekend is when you go out and explore, Japan and like do all
the
these
sightseeing and all stuff like that. Yeah.
So it was kind of the reverse. Like the weekend, it was less drinking than it was during the week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I'm climbing Mount Fuji on the weekend. I can't be drunk.
Yeah, I can't be hangover for that.
I can't do that.
Definitely
I'm all at Tokyo Disney on the weekend, so I'm not drunk around the kids.
Tokyo Disney.
So all of those particular things that was going on, I remember that, and now, if I get drunk, I'm not drinking for at least another month because that's ruined it.
Yeah,
because I'm hungover for 3 days.
Yeah, it's hard to recover, and a big part of that is metabolism has changed, right? Like just your body chemistry.
Yeah.
So,
and tolerance. Because now, if you've been drinking, so now I think. I don't know. Somebody out there who studied,
medicine,
alcohol and the way that it metabolizes in the body and tolerance and everything. for me, I'm thinking that it's because now I know my limit, so I know where to push it almost. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I know how to back off.
Oh, you're like, I'm reaching that point.
Yeah. So before, I can't really say that I knew my tolerance in the beginning because it was like pound, 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 and before I knew it, I was like, oh.
But it was also the objective was to get drunk, versus like.
So I wasn't.
You weren't trying to reach a point.
No, at all.
Trying to go for it.
I was trying to go for it. Whatever gets me there quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of that is, I think now in terms of like tolerance, is more of now like I slow down and I'm like, okay, we had 2 shots and a glass of wine. Okay, so we good. Like that's the limit.
Or I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I know what my body feels like.
Yeah. Or I can have, if I know that I have 2 shots, 2 glasses of wine, we're finished for the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that.
Or you need to eat some potatoes or some bread or something like that.
Or what we thinking? Breakfast, right? Go back there and fucking mix me up some
bacon Bloody Marys.
Something. So so that piece of it is I'm definitely starting to realize that, and when I see older people who drink a lot, I'm like, yo, what?
How?
What kind of metabolism do you? I'm in my 30s and I'm struggling.
Yeah.
So what kind of, sir? How long have you been drinking?
Like
and that? Should I go to AA with you in the morning? I don't know. Like, what is that? What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, everybody's body is so different as to how their tolerance and their metabolism and stuff. Like, it's kind of hard to tell too. You know, someone who drinks once a year and has the same amount that you just said of like 2 shots and 2 glasses of wine.
They drunk.
They
toe up.
Done. They're done. And you're not, you know, or you're reaching a point. So that's hard too, like to know what other people's points are. Yeah. Because everybody's body and chemistry is so different.
Yeah. And I think before I even realized what the body chemistry, how people metabolize and the liver does its thing, I used to judge people on how much they were drinking. I was a huge judger back in the day. This is before I started, really getting into tasting myself. But before, and I knew my limit, and I was like, why don't other people know their limits? Guys, why don't you know your limits? I don't understand. How did you get drunk that fast? I'm not getting it. Yeah. Because that's the way that I thought that it was like, if I have 2 shots and a wine,
it's the same impact on their body.
And it wasn't.
Right.
The very ignorant way of thinking for me.
Well, you learned.
Yes. Hell yes, I did. And, and another thing too, I think when it comes to just drinking, that when we talk about like the fact of fiction and kind of going into that piece of it, people who drink and also take their medication.
No.
People really thinking that they are in a space where they can do both and it's okay. Yeah. It's almost like I can drink. I drive better when I'm drunk. No, you don't. I'm over here sober and we're all over the road.
Yeah. Not okay.
That's not okay at all. So I think it's the same thing in terms of like medication.
Yeah.
And also like
understand your body is chemistry.
It metabolizes in a different way and it's not doing anything but just getting you fucked up even faster.
Yeah, or damaging other organs, which is
the liver.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or stomach, because medication, I'm hanging out with a fork, but medications like metabolize in different parts of your body. Yep. And so you need to be aware of where your medication is metabolizing so that you're not creating more damage to your system. Yes. Because you don't have backups.
No.
You don't have a backup body.
All. You don't. And people do. You guys are out here drinking like you got a backup body. I love that. A backup body. Because that's exactly what it is. We get on these lists and we can get a new liver and a new kidney and like all these things. But you have to treat it as though you don't have that option.
You have one body.
Period.
You hydrate it. You take care of it. You need to know what you're putting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of putting something in your body, I have margarita pickles. So my friend Estella.
As you guys can see, we love pickles.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys know a drinking recipe with pickles in it, send it to us.
Yeah. So my friend Estella, it was her mom's birthday, and she made these margarita pickles. And I saw her yesterday, and she was like, I knew I was going to see you today, so I brought you these pickles. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
She's like, well, they're margarita pickles.
Even better.
So they are, pickles with tequila and...
Oh my God, it's a dream.
Yeah, she homemade them, and we'll put the recipe up on social. But
cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers our pickles. I had one, and I was like, "Are you sure there's tequila in that?" And she said, "Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure."
There's no tequila in here.
That's what I said. I said, I think you're wrong.
What's her name?
Estella.
Estella, you lied. Watch, I find out later. I'll be like, oh, there's a tolerance thing, right?
But you don't taste it at all. And she's like, they're dangerous. Because my youngest son, my 3.5-year-old, he loves pickles. Elliot, that's why you guys you guys are soulmates and stuff. But
yeah, we are. Her son is my soulmate.
My 3-year-old, he loves pickles, and she's like, "Do not give those to him. Like there is alcohol." And then I was like, "Oh, I want to try them." I said, "Are you sure?"
Really
because
good.
They're sweet. Yeah, so there's sugar. Yeah. So we will put it up on our Instagram.
Yeah.
The recipe.
Let me get a little juice.
Oh, I didn't try the juice, so maybe that's where you can taste some of it.
Let's see. That's what I'm really.
Yeah, swirl that around.
Like, if you guys know from that episode with the cow blood and.
If not, go back. Does that taste like tequila?
No, that's dangerous because it don't.
Yeah.
It tastes like pickle juice. Wow.
I was like, yeah. I asked her like 3 times because I said, are you sure?
Hold on. Shout out to our producer, Zeke. Because Zeke been trying to get us to have food on this show.
Yeah. And now we have pickles.
We got pickles. We got pickles on the show now.
And they're damn good.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
And I don't taste any tequila. What is that? What's the recipe? What's the recipe again? You know it?
I don't know it by heart.
Okay. She got to tell us.
Yeah. Because you have to bring it to a simmer. You have to let it sit, like the mixture. And then you have to let it sit in the fridge for 3 days. Like there's a whole process. Ooh. It's like a whole recipe. It's not just like put pickles in a jar with tequila. Like it's more involved, which makes sense because you can't taste tequila.
Yeah. We'll do a behind the scenes on how this pickle thing turned out. Yeah.
Once the tequila sits in.
Once the tequila sits in.
Yes. All right. So before we close out, I got a drinking story from one of our listeners. Her name is Nani. She works here in our office area. And
shout out to Nani.
Yes, I'm very excited. She came up with this idea all by herself, and she's like, you know what I think would be great? If you guys asked people for their drinking stories, and then you read them out loud to the other person, and it's the first time you're hearing it, and then I'm reading it, and we can have fun telling somebody else's drinking story.
Yeah.
So here it goes. To preface this story, this took place when I was around 6 or 7 years old.
Whoa.
My mom was working in a crime prevention unit for the city at the time. That year, she worked on a project with the sheriff's department. As a thank you, they invited her to come see the Padres game with them and gave her tickets for the whole family. On the drive there, my mom told me and my brothers, we are not buying you drinks, food, ice cream, nothing. So don't even bother asking.
Typical.
Yeah. That gets expensive real quick. This was back when you could bring outside food and drinks into the game. We got there early so we could tailgate with the sheriffs before the game. When it was time for the game to start, my mom gave us each a water bottle and told us not to lose it. I remember it was such a hot day. When I went to take a drink of my water, I noticed it was hot. I thought to myself, oh no, this is not one of the waters we brought. This water bottle must have been sitting in the parking lot in the hot sun for who knows how long. I asked my mom if she would buy me a soda because my water was so hot. She said, I already told you I'm not buying you anything. I was so thirsty, I made myself drink half of the water bottle before I couldn't stand it anymore. Later, my older brother asked if there was any more water bottles left. My mom said, drink your sister's. She doesn't want it. He took a sip. He did not. That's not what it says. It says, he took a sip and shouted, Mom! Her face went pale as she realized she had forgotten to mark her vodka-filled water bottle. In that same moment, it sank in how we were surrounded by sheriffs and exactly how much I had forced myself to drink. I don't remember much after that because I do remember I did get an ice cream, and according to my mom, I slept really good on the car ride home.
Because that poor baby was blacked out.
Yeah, she was 6 or 7 years old, and she downed half a water bottle of pure vodka. The water was hot because it was vodka. And her mom's like, no, you can't have anything.
Whoa.
And she's with the sheriff's department?
With a drunk underage.
With a drunk 6-year-old.
Oh, that sounds like a mom story I could probably relate to.
So good.
It's
so good.
That is.
Oh my God.
See? Okay, so that's a lesson. First of all, parents.
Mark your water bottles.
Mark your water bottles, okay? Or your flask. Or your whatever. Whatever you got. And then secondly, if your baby tells you that something isn't right with that particular water bottle, believe your child. Yo, poor baby just was just drinking.
Yeah, she was, oh man.
Oh, and she said she was going in and out, just blacking in and out. Just, I remember it was ice cream.
She did get an ice cream. Only had to drink half a bottle of vodka. Oh my God, so good.
I wonder if she still drinks vodka today.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I'll have to ask her.
That'll be
that like ruined her. Ruined the vodka for her. Or if she's like, I was so young.
Right.
It didn't ruin.
But that's hilarious.
Yeah.
In front of all those sheriffs, and they just.
I love that part of the story. It's like they were there with the police department.
Yeah. Hilarious.
So good.
Well, guys, we kind of told you guys the facts and the fictions of all hangover cures. So if you're still following them, it's on you now. It's not.
Yeah, we told you.
We've given you.
Told you the truth.
We've given you the truth on what we found on Beyonce's internet, and just to let you know that some of those things aren't true. You can still enjoy them if they make you feel better. It's like a placebo, right? If it makes you feel better, whatever.
That's pretty powerful.
But just to know that it's not real.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not real.
You want to?
I don't have any. Oh, well, I guess I can have another pickle.
I mean, something.
Yeah, more pickles. But send us your stories, and we can read your drinking stories as well, just like we read Nani's.
Yeah,
I want to hear. I want to hear more people's stories.
Other people's drinking stories, and see what you guys have.
Because we get to tell them in our own way.
Yeah.
And that's always
and
fun
my
too.
Imagination is always wild.
Clearly.
So I'm going to take it to a new level. I'm going to take your story.
We'll take turns reading them.
To your story to a new level.
I'm going to cheers you with my pickle.
All right.
Signing
off.
Another
episode. Signing off.
Cheers.
Odd Pairing. Thanks for listening and watching Odd Pairing. So please subscribe, like, rate,
and comment with your favorite drinking stories and curiosities about adult beverages.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm going to happy hour. Who's driving?
Wow.